Hello, this is Photography Gamer. In today's video, it's the VP guide. So in case you're wondering, we are back in Cyberpunk and we're at Lizzie's bar, as you can see from the sign, the graffiti, etc. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to do some interior shots using the environment. So making the most of an interior, a nightclub in this case. So there's plenty of things that we can capture in the nightclub. Before we do that, it's about 3 o'clock in the game, 4 o'clock. So I just wanted to show you these little graffiti walls, because these are quite nice if you want to do a shoot. Like, for example, you might think, oh, garbage cans, I don't want to take a picture there. Well, let's get in there and let's have a look. Maybe we can actually do something. So again, first thing we want to do, find a pose, something fun. So we just want something, maybe what about a guitar, and we want to probably spin a bit so we get the lighting. And we're going to look at cameras good if you want to have like more of an intimate type portrait. Obviously we don't want all these trash cans in it, although we could if we wanted. But so we want to create, let's get an expression, so something smiley. That one's quite nice, quite soft. Maybe we'll rotate a bit more. Obviously if you rotate too far the eye contact goes, but what other, maybe the guitar's not the best one. Let's see what else we have. So again, when they're looking at the camera, it does make a difference. It does create a more of an intimate type of portrait. Well, we can just do something basic. So we're going to go, what should we do? High to low. We're going to rotate a bit. So if you see the light, it's kind of front facing, isn't it? And again, it's just about finding the right sort of shadows and stuff. Obviously, when they're looking down like that, the shadows go weird. It doesn't look very good, does it? So it's trying to find the right balance. Alright, let's try that one. Now, obviously if we move the camera, then her facial position is going to change. So we want to come in with the field of view, and we've got to find, just get like the upper body and sort of the hot pant view type scenario. So we get it's like a sort of outfit shot, isn't it, I suppose. Maybe we'll field of view out a bit. Facial expressions, maybe something a bit even more lighter. That's too cheesy. What's the first one? Charm. So now we've got the position, maybe we can even go through the other stances until we find one. And that one's not bad. Let's, like, can we rotate it a bit? Because it feels a bit unnatural. So again, it's the lighting, it's just finding a light setting that you're kind of happy with. And you know, don't be afraid to experiment. So okay, we'll do just like a, there you go, cigarette break one. That one's quite nice. So again, like framing wise, I'm usually frame, you see that line on the right hand side. Usually I would get the eye line about there, but if we do that, it sort of loses some of the outfit. So we'll kind of balance it off like that. And what should we do? Try some filters out, but I don't think we need filters because I think the natural light is nice. So we can bump the highlights up a bit just to brighten it, perhaps. Contrast. Just a little exposure. And we'll capture that one. So that's just a quick example of, that's a really nice little wall to take pictures of outside Lizzie's bar. You could do a shot with all of this in it as a sort of contrast between glamour and, you know, trash, which I've seen in like various fashion. We've got another nice colourful one here. You know, there's all different colours along these walls. But let's go in the bar. Oh, it's night time, isn't it? So, right, we've got to skip time. So we need to... What time does it open? Must be open by 10. So the thing with night time that we did last time...
Going in or staying out?
Get out of the way. Right.
My, what a sweet little face.
In a club, what have we got? We've got lots of neon lit stuff. Like you could do one there, couldn't you? Sitting at the chair, possibly. I think we're going to try and use these curtains. So, I'm not sure how this is going to be impacted by the light. So, it's quite dark, isn't it? So I think first and foremost, again, we want to get a sort of pose. You could use a muzzle flash here if you wanted to have a bit of like a dramatic John Wick shooting through the curtains. We could do that, couldn't we? Let's try that. That's actually... So I think we'll come in a bit, but then we'll use the field of view just to sort of naturally get in. So right, it's tricky because we've got all these curtains. So again, I'm getting the eye line 2/3 up. We've got the muzzle flash. If the muzzle flash was off, obviously it kills the image because we've got nothing to work with. So what about filters? Let's see what they do to it. Again, these filters, they're not ideal. I mean, black and white would be good, but I like the muzzle flashing colour. It kind of adds something, doesn't it? So that's the original. Now I think we need to add some highlights just to bring out a bit of light. Maybe some exposure just to bring it up a bit, and then a bit of contrast to bring it back down. This is probably something we could put a light vignette on, you see around the border. Just a bit, just a little. Depth of field. If we put it off, it's too busy. Like there's too much going on there, isn't there? So we turn autofocus off. We want to do like a manual focus. So we want to get it bang on the character. Maybe like a 5.0. Try that. Facial expression. We probably need something that suits what's going on, don't we? Looks delighted with it. There you go. That's a really nice expression, but can we do one? Well, let's just do a screenshot of that. But we want... Can we do one with a muzzle flash that we can like squeeze a portrait out of it? Like that, and immediately I'm looking at that. I don't know what this little blob is in the way, but can we turn this into a little portrait? So we're using the muzzle flash as a sort of cheat, and depth of field, we'll have to change that, and we want to probably come in a bit. Like you could use the muzzle flash as a way of creating a nicer shot, but obviously here it's slightly tricky, isn't it? So this is looking quite nice actually. It's oh, there's that bullet in the way, isn't there? That's annoying. Okay, the muzzle flash is a really good way of adding light, but the problem with it is, okay, let's abandon this one, it's too dark. What we want to do, find somewhere where we've got some nice lighting. I mean, you can shoot at the bar.
There's that cream place. We went there yesterday.
Okay, look at this little pink silhouetted thingamajig. We'll use this because this will give us plenty of light. I mean, immediately, look at that. That's great, isn't it? And the expression, we'll have a smiling expression. So this is like one you could shoot almost straight through like a... So we'll use the look to camera thing again. I think we need to move the subject away from this guy because he's a bit irritating. So how do we do this? Like, go over that's a bit close. No, we're right in the light. That's too much. Bring it closer. Rotate it, perhaps. Rotate the other way. Okay. That's quite nice lighting. Now it's about finding some sort of action shot, something we can use. That's quite a posy one. Let's use that actually. So again, like you can see how the light has impacted the shot. I mean, you can change facial expression, have it a bit more serious, and then also even maybe change position, bring her a bit closer. You can see how the light's changing, but it's getting a bit weird. So I think that's about right, about there. That's quite nice actually. Cut right in, and probably depth of field. We probably don't need depth of field here because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So, I mean, you could do one like that. It's sort of like somber. Just screenshot that. Looking at the camera is that one, but she's not looking at the camera. She's sort of looking beyond it. But that's quite another nice example. So, like, you could again use other characters to frame. So let's get them all in it. So she looks very striking because of the pink. So again, if you move the character, you've got to think about the lighting again. So this one, we'll have her like she's looking at this chap. Maybe we'll lose the other guy. We'll just have these two, perhaps. So it's like, so again, like little details, like the in the bottom middle of the screen, there's a little bottle. I don't want it blocking out the neon light, so I'll get it in a position where it's kind of not blocking out any light. Because I find it's just trying to find a balance where nothing in the image is actually taken away from like the overall quality of the image. So I think again, you can use the grids here to balance spaces so that everyone's a kind of equal distance. And with this picture, we could change how it looks completely by the facial expression. So, like, she's smiling at him, or that, or serious. Let's try the smiling one. Like that's another sort of shot you could do. Again, it's just finding the right spot. But you can see, just like you need to find a light source, really. That's the key. And then posing, we can try and find different poses. That's the one we wanted, isn't it? The guitar. Brilliant. How do we do that? So with the guitar, do it like she's entertaining or something, like okay, this is a problem with the environment. Sometimes you get caught up in the environment. So now, like, this is like what I would call a portrait within a crowd scene. I used to do photojournalism when I started out, and it was usually like what's the word, within crowd environments. So you had to sort of try and find the best configuration within like the maze of like a big crowd. Obviously the problem we've got here is the lighting, so that probably isn't going to work. So let's frame her. We're going to frame her in between probably a couple of characters just to give it. Again, it's this micro detail, so I think that's about right. And we're just trying to cut out anything that's going to distract from the image. So because she's looking at the camera, we could probably raise the camera up a bit until we get it to the eye line. Now, looking at the bottom of the image, you see that little table and the curvature under it. That's getting my attention, which I don't want. So we're going in just a touch. Because I find with any photograph you take, it's about the little details, like what in that image is going to take your eye away from what you actually want to be looking at. And like, she's looking quite low, so maybe we'll go a bit higher. And then we lower down the craning to balance it. Because if we go eye line, I feel like that's too much, the balance is off. So we're going to go eye line probably to the neck, like the two-thirds line to the neck. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll go back to what we had actually, because that was quite good. Okay. So that's what we're going to frame. Now, what else can we do to it? What about a rotation? Rotate a little, just to make the light a bit more pleasant. So it depends. Do we want to look in at us? Do we want to look in beyond us a little? I think that will work. And then it's really just the lighting. Do we want to add some brightness, some highlights? I think we can put a bit of a vignette on here just to sort of focus our eye, not too much. And then it's just maybe a bit of contrast and a bit of exposure. And we'll take a screenshot. That's quite a nice, moody, atmospheric shot. Okay, so what about NPCs? Okay, let's... Hang on. Is there anything through here? We've got these two people. So, I mean, if you're photographing an NPC, for example, let's do that. So, obviously, what you probably want to do is stand close to it and then hide your character. Can we actually do that in this? Hide character. Character visible off. There you go. Okay, so this is a good shot. It's like two people. Looks like they're playing chess, but there's no chessboard. So that's depth of field off because we want to get focused. Camera. Let's come in. And like, if I'm framing two subjects like this, it's like, again, you're trying to sort of create equal distances, make it equidistant between the two characters. And again, with the eye line 2/3 up, kind of works. Now, this is a great example of how you could use a vignette, for example. So, because obviously we're looking centrally, so we'll go 50 vignette. Highlights will bump up so that the middle pops out at us a bit of contrast to compensate, maybe a little bit of grain, and then let's see what the filters look like. That's kind of serious. If you wanted it sort of muted, that's quite quite pleasant, like bold, red. Okay, let's do black and white. So we did a bit of black and white last time. So obviously now it's black and white. What does that mean? Well, it means we've got a lot more scope to piss around with things like lighting. So we're going to bump up the exposure probably to like 35-ish. So brighter. Now we're going to do contrast. And then I think we do highlights. So that will make the lighter bits a bit lighter to compensate with the shadow. We could probably vignette it a bit more. Up to maybe 80. Maybe even a bit more in the vignette. 90. And then highlights again. We're going pretty high up on it. You can see what I mean. It's like standing out. We'll go contrast up to 65. Maybe exposure up 5. And now I think we're quite happy with that, so we could probably cut it in slightly. Again, it's just trying to find the eye line distance. And you see, I'm looking at those two lines, the vertical lines, the two vertical lines. I'm trying to get them in line with the eyes-ish, so that they're both a similar distance to the character's eyes. So like that's nice. Let's take a picture of that. What about depth of field? Can we use that to impact that photograph? Well, maybe we can. Let's see. Focus distance. Okay, that's the character focus distance. Is that any better? I don't think so. So I think sometimes you don't need depth of field. It's nice to have that texture, isn't it, on the background? So, I mean, you could also bump up grain if you really wanted. Gives it a bit of texture, but I think where we were was fine. So yeah, nice atmospheric black and white, using vignettes, using shadows. Okay, let's do one more photo and we'll call it a day for this episode. Okay, let's get out of here. Why can't I sprint? This is outrageous. Right, calm down. Where's the music anyway? Well, we've got red here. What about red? Let's do a side on in the red. Look at that. Nice. Again, it's just looking at colour. So quickly, let's find a pose we can use. Do that one. We're going to rotate it slightly. Shoot low to high. We don't want any of this rubbish in the background, so we're going to go right in. We're going to go low to high, eye line there. Depth of field, yes, because we don't want this rubbish in the background. So we need to find the right distance focus for the character, which is about 1.4. We're going to put the aperture right down to blur out the background. Expression, I think we'll leave it as it is. And then we'll probably vignette it a bit just to sort of mute the background a bit. Highlights up, contrast up, not too much. Exposure up. Let's see what the filters look like. That's interesting. That's kind of moody, but very red. That's with the red filter on the red image. That's kind of bold, isn't it? Well, let's just go back to the like standard look. Okay, with the depth of field, I think we've gone too far, so we need to just drop it back a bit. And frames, you could do frames. And there you go, that's just like that screenshot. I mean, that's just a simple one, can we change the pose and what will that do to it? Let's have a look. Again, you'd probably have to rotate every pose if you wanted to change it. Looking at the camera, we could try that, couldn't we? That's kind of a moody one, isn't it? Yeah, that could be another photo, so screenshot that. And that's it, I think. Let's get out of this place. How do we get out of here? It's a shortcut. Okay, so that's another VP guide.
Going in or staying out?
Let me know, did you, with any of those bits of tips useful? Obviously, when you're dealing with interiors, there's a lot of variation there. There's a lot of different things you can photograph, including people, objects, textures, and things like that. Obviously, if it's dark, you've got to look at the lighting scenario. But yeah, I hope that was useful. So that's Lizzie's bar. Nice little graffiti bits outside you can use. And also we did a bit of neon lit shots inside, also using crowds. We did a black and white of the NPCs. So yeah, hopefully those helped. Again, if you've got questions, please put them in the comments, because I don't know what you need to know until I know what you need to know, if you know what I mean. I don't know what I just said, I'm confused. Anyway, I need a cup of coffee. I am gonna do another one on Cyberpunk, probably gonna do a bunch of these. So is there anything you would like me to cover in the next episode or in future episodes? Ask me, tell me what you want, and we will sort it out. So thank you for watching my video. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, supporting. I appreciate it. And I will be back with some more photo mode shenanigans soon. I'm going to go and shoot someone. Right, let's go. Nah, I changed my mind. Alright, see you next time.